Hey guys, this thing was Light, and welcome back to another podcast. So this time we're going to review the Avengers, as you can see by the title. But anyway, before we get into this, my name is Enigma's Light, here with my co-host Alex. Go ahead and say hi, Alex.
Hola.
And then we have two special guests today. That's right, not one, just two. Two special guests. They're also listeners. We have Danny.
What's up?
And we have David.
How's it going?
Okay, they're both twins. You obviously can't see that, but so it'll probably be very hard to tell what their voices are. So yeah. Anyway, we're gonna get right into this just because for time consuming, because I'm pretty sure the review's gonna take the longest. So anyways, let's get right into this. So the Venom trailer just came out 2 weeks ago at CinemaCon. It finally showed the symbiote. I just want to get your guys' opinion on the symbiote. So we're gonna start off on YouTube because you got Tudor News. So whichever one of you guys want to go first.
Well, I mean, as I guess based on like the Venom and like the character, I mean, I am a big fan of Tom Hardy, so I am for. I'm pretty much excited that Tom Hardy is gonna portray as Venom. I don't think he won't disappoint me because I mean, him as Bane in The Dark Knight Rises was, yeah, I guess.
You're all like you had stage fright or something, huh? Tom Hardy for me. I mean, I didn't see most of my friends don't see him as a reporter type because obviously he's playing a reporter in this, but he's based in San Francisco and Eddie Brock usually isn't a reporter. I think he's just some guy who hates. I forget how the comic origin goes, but he's just someone who really hates Spider-Man. So seeing him as a reporter, and Tom Hardy looks like Tom Hardy. When you got that first look, and it was like first look of Venom by IGN, and it was just a picture of him holding the notebook. I was like, if I didn't know that this was a Venom first look, I would have just assumed this is just some random picture of Tom Hardy. But yeah, how do you guys feel about the look of the symbiote? So we'll go again with you. Danny.
I think the silhouettes and like the lighting and everything is pretty cool. I was looking at clips and like even the cinematography was pretty cool. I'm gonna say the teaser was kind of a disappointment because it looked like a fan made teaser, sort of.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was kind of nervous, honestly, when the trailer came out. But then when the trailer came out, I thought it was pretty cool actually. And you were saying who was gonna be the villain for this one?
I think it might be Carnage.
Yeah, I can see that too. It looks dope. And then also I'm excited for Tom Hardy to be Venom. The costume for the Venom thing. That looks actually pretty cool. I know a lot of people were actually kind of disappointed in that. Actually, I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah. As soon as I was one of the people who were disappointed.
Oh,
when
really?
When it got leaked, I was like, this looks like a glossy piece of shit. But then I saw it again, like the clear trailer, because Alex told me, he's like, I'm pretty sure it's just the HD or it's just the quality. Like, yeah, I'm hoping it is.
For sure, it's better than the Spider-Man, the recent Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I kind of wish it had the white Spider-Man symbol.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it just has the white veins.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But I'm pretty sure it'll be like finished in post-production. What do you think about the Venom suit, Alex?
Well, it might have the white spider symbol. I mean, it was just a trailer, and also it's only the head of him you see. I mean, you don't really see the body of it, so it could be like a little small thing.
Yeah.
So that's possible. Yeah, I mean, the trailer was okay. It was alright. I told you, I texted you this, but the whole symbiote thing is a no.
Yeah, that's the one other thing.
It's symbiote.
That's the one thing we were talking about it. You guys know you guys hear how to pronounce symbiote, right? They're like, oh, the symbiote, and it's like, what are you saying? I had to keep rewinding it because I was like, why are you saying symbiote? It's the way I pronounce it is symbiote.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
What do you call it? It's really weird. Like, I think the 1990s cartoon, it pronounced it symbiote. Well, most people pronounce it symbiote. Symbiote. How the fuck? I just lost track.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
It's like Ra's al Ghul, Raz al Ghul, it's kind of like that. But the way they're like symbiote, and I was like, are you trying to sound scientific, or what are you doing? And
they're failing.
Yeah. It's really weird. It threw me off. Tom Hardy's performance is still kind of throwing me off because it's probably just the way they voiced the trailer, because he was like, I'm a reporter and I'm good at hiding.
Actually, his voice does. I mean, do you remember that scene where like I think it was like a bunch of I don't know if it was bunch of people came into his house.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard it how he sounded. It sounded hella weird.
I mean,
Like, I don't know if that's just his voice. I'm not really. I totally forgot how, like.
I think he's
talk-
he's Australian, so he has an Australian
Oh,
accent.
yeah, that's true.
It's
So
like
like-
Australian and Brooklyn accent just
Yeah.
came together.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like, you suck.
Yeah, it's like man, like you're in San
Oh,
Francisco.
or like, have you seen Bronson?
Bronson.
Yeah, he's in that movie.
I've never
I
heard.
think I think that's how he actually sounds. It's like, what's the movie about again?
Well, it's about the story of Charles Bronson and like how, I guess how he wanted to be famous. He talks about his life in prison and stuff. It was actually like the first movie I saw from
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
And that's how I actually started to like Tom Hardy. And
Yeah, like so, like his
Yeah.
character, he's bald and has like long mustache.
long mustache. Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind the way he sounds,
Yeah.
but he's just trying way too hard to sound like a New Yorker.
Yeah.
And obviously,
Yeah.
this movie won't take place at all in New
And
York.
sounds, yeah.
So unless they reference the Daily Bugle or something, I can understand it. But his accent is really throwing me off. I was really wishing they would just keep like, I don't know, some American accent. But that's probably his best American accent he can probably do.
Yeah, that's
But he's mixing it again with an Australian and Brooklyn accent. Hey, I'm walking here. Fucking weirdo. What else can we say? Yeah, how do you guys feel? Do you guys think it'll be? Because honestly, we don't know much of the story yet. This will be the last thing before we move on to the next topic. But we don't know much about the story yet. And obviously, people are kind of afraid of if this movie being a letdown. But do you guys think they'll follow like the Carnage storyline with not Carnage, but like they'll mix in Lethal Protector storyline and then have Carnage at the end? Or what do you guys think is gonna happen?
what I
I
Yeah.
don't see this story being some like revolutionary, like psychological mind piece. It's probably just going to be scientists chase him, they create another Venom, turns out to be Carnage, he becomes a lethal protector. It's probably not going to be all that complicated.
yeah, that's true. And also, since they're introducing like a whole like film of Venom as well, and like first time introducing like a new version of Venom, pretty much.
Because I mean, the only reason it looks interesting is because the costume looks like it's an actual alien.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like it was just a ripoff of the Spider-Man costume that turned into a black and had a alligator face or mouth or whatever. you wanna call it. But the movie does look kind of okay for me. It doesn't. I mean, I was thinking about it and I was like, that wasn't.
It does look different than the Marvel universe, like how they're doing the movies right now.
Because we honestly didn't know, like, people were, like, experimenting. Like, I showed my mom the first Venom trailer, and she was like, what is that? And I go, it's Spider-Man. And she goes, oh, is Tom Holland going to be in there? And I was like, no. She was like, who is it? I go, Venom. She goes, I don't know who that is, and I only know who Tom Hardy is. And I was like, yeah, you're probably not going to know the rest
What's
of the story.
it? Sony, right?
Yeah, it's Sony.
I can already
They're
tell.
also going to make that Black Cat and Silver Cable, I don't know her name, movie. But that's Sony for you.
Yeah.
They're not going to have the Spider-Man we love and shit.
Damn.
Anyway, let's get on to the next topic here, just because I really want to get into the Avengers review.
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp trailer just came out like 2 mornings ago.
Yeah, like 2 mornings ago.
It doesn't show much other than just the story. We do get a hint at Goliath, if you guys know who Goliath was.
Yeah.
He played a major part in Civil War. He was actually, I think, the first person who got killed by the fake Thor. So he plays a very big role. It's played by Lawrence Fishburne, who played in The Matrix and Man of Steel. The story shows that we can get the Wasp now, and we have Ant-Man, and they're in totally different costumes, and it looks like Giant Man's going to be playing a big part. The villain Ghost. Now, that is originally an Iron Man villain, and she's now, it was a he, but it's just she now. She kind of looks similar to Valkyrie. I think I was the only one who got that vibe. But they're planning so this movie takes place right after Civil War, but before the Infinity War movie. So I guess not mainly what your thoughts are on this trailer, but how do you think Ant-Man and the Wasp will play into Avengers 4? Now, just to give you guys some food for thought, I guess, is someone, I don't know who her name was, but someone was cast for the teenage part of Cassie Lang, which is the daughter of Ant-Man and the Wasp. Ant-Man, just Ant-Man. And she turns out to be Ant-Man later on in the comic books.
Really?
So how do you guys think, Ant-Man and the Wasp will play a part in the Infinity War, in Avengers 4? Stumped you guys.
It's hard to say. I mean, it more or less, I think it's going to be its own little, no pun intended, small movie with an after-credit scene. That's pretty much all I can say. I don't think it's going to be like at the end of the movie, oh shit, Thanos is here, cut to black. Like, I don't think it's going to pull that.
I think also for sure. This Ant-Man and the Wasp, it takes place before Infinity War, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I'd say
Because isn't he like the only? Or actually, I don't know. Should I talk about the ending of
Infinity War?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Actually, they're gonna be. I forgot to mention very in the beginning of the episodes. There's gonna be spoilers. So if something accidentally slips, spoilers. There's your warning. So if you haven't seen Infinity War, sure. I don't know what you're doing. Go ahead.
So like Ant-Man, is because like in the end of Infinity War, all the like the newer
Avengers,
new Avengers like die, right?
Yeah.
Well, Ant-Man's not as like one of.
He's not really a new Avenger, but he's.
I mean, but like and part of the Marvel universe, pretty
Yeah.
much. And he's like, and he's not mentioned in Infinity War, so he's like one of them that hasn't died yet.
Yeah.
So like maybe Avengers 4, he'll probably be working with maybe like Iron Man or Captain America, or like like teaming up to try to get the new generation back.
Yeah. How I see it is again the end credit scene, but maybe his daughter, or not his daughter actually, but maybe the Wasp and Hank Pym disappear, and he's like, "What the fuck's going on?" He goes, "I have to find." Then he sees the news, and it's like, "Oh, Tony Stark is missing. Big battle in Wakanda," and it's gonna be like, "Oh shit, the Avengers need me and shit," and then it'll be like Ant-Man will return in Avengers 4. I don't think we're gonna get a Captain Marvel tease. I think you should hold off for Captain Marvel up until her trailer.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm assuming we'll get a tease of it. Oh no, actually we won't. Marvel's actually leaving Comic H or Hall H, so they won't be there for Hall H.
Oh really?
Yeah, but I'm assuming they're gonna bring something for D23 because they missed out the other year before, but this one they're not going at all.
Okay.
I'm just assuming that the end credit scene will play a major part into the Avengers Infinity War movie.
Doesn't Captain Marvel take place like
in the
before?
90s.
Yeah, 90s.
So it'll be really weird to see that
that's
happen.
what I'm saying.
And people were assuming she's in space, but we'll get to that later. That's really all for the Ant-Man and Wasp trailer. That was, again, speculation, just a filler. I guess since we still have a little bit more time, we'll move on to the Deadpool 2 trailer.
Yeah.
Deadpool 2 comes out, May 18th?
Yeah, May
so like a couple weeks from now. It looks kind of promising, I'm not going to lie. It looks really funny. The part that got to me was when the dude Peter, like, I'm high, I saw the ad, and he was like, you're in, and he jumps out the airplane.
He's flying.
That one was hilarious. How do you guys think Deadpool 2 will hold up? Do you guys think it'll live up to the sequel, or do you think it'll just be like another Deadpool movie?
Nah, well, yeah, maybe. For sure, it's gonna be a Deadpool movie, same as the first one. I think, honestly, I don't think anything will. I don't think it will beat the first one. Maybe if they do make a Deadpool 3, because usually my theories are like, every time they make like a trilogy, the sequel is the only one that kind of lacks on the feeling of the film, pretty much. Maybe because I think it's gonna end where like there's definitely gonna be a Deadpool 3, same as like
Deadpool 1.
Yeah.
Similar to the end credit scene.
Yeah.
What about you, David?
To be honest, I do see it's just like, and it's just another Deadpool movie, but or maybe not, because like how he's already recruiting some.
He's recruiting the X-Force.
Yeah, X-Force. So, maybe by that I would see as another sequel, but I don't know, because like I honestly only seen the trailer like once or twice.
You're one of those people who only see the trailer like once and then don't ever want to see it again.
Yeah.
No, but that's me too. But I wanted to watch it before. I wanted to watch it a couple times before the podcast.
The movie?
Yeah. Or before, yeah.
What about you, Alex? How do you feel about Deadpool 2?
Well, I mean, Deadpool 2 is going to be an enjoyable film. Yeah. There's not much I can add to the conversation, although I can add this little interesting piece of trivia. You did mention Deadpool 3. Ryan Reynolds said in an interview he doesn't know if there's going to be a Deadpool 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He said he doesn't know exactly how many solo films can this guy really handle. He said, if it's a team-up film, maybe, but how many solo Deadpool movies can you do before it gets old? So I think that's a little interesting thing. There might not be a Deadpool 3 to exist.
Well, see, I think it's a little too early to call a Deadpool 3 sequel, or Deadpool 3, because the box office numbers haven't hit yet. So obviously if this makes much more than Deadpool 1, I think it will be
most likely 3. I think it will.
Yeah, because I don't see Deadpool going on for as long as, like, let's say Wolverine, 10 years and shit. But Deadpool 2, Deadpool is a character that they might want to have, but I could see him in, like, an X-Force movie, or just, like, another, like, maybe, not New Mutants, but just another Mutants movie. But I don't see a Deadpool 3 until, like, the box office numbers come in. But other than that, that's basically my opinion on that one.
Or let me ask, do you think he's going to still stick with his girlfriend by the end of the film?
Honestly, I think so. Really? Domino doesn't seem like a love interest. It seems more like a character trying to help them out, because he's obviously recruiting the X-Force. Yeah. And so this seems like a prequel to the X-Force movie almost. I don't know if they're going to start filming that. I heard they're going to start filming it in October. I heard about it, but I don't think they will. I was honestly surprised when they introduced the X-Force into one of the trailers. I honestly didn't see that coming, but the cast looks pretty good, so I'm assuming they're setting up the X-Force before New Mutants, which is New Mutants is something that I wanted to see.
Oh, also the interesting thing, I don't know what she portrays, but you know that girl with the afro?
Yeah, Domino.
Her. It's kind of a
spoiler?
No, not a spoiler. It's kind of like it's a coincidence that because she also plays in a TV show called Atlanta, right? Which is Donald Glover's TV show, and also knowing that Donald Glover
was supposed to be
the animated
thing. I think we talked about that a while back. Yeah. The animated series did seem pretty cool. I read the mock script and then I saw the test footage. Yeah. That was pretty cool.
But what was it? Because the insults or something?
Something about Taylor Swift. I think Alex knows more about it than I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fox didn't want to do a Taylor Swift episode because she could technically sue and. Yeah, they pulled the plug, and Donald Glover was pretty pissed off, and I am too. It would have been good.
Yeah, I guess that's it for Deadpool 2. So let's get straight into this review. So before we get into this, spoilers galore. Holy shit, I didn't think Thanos was going to make that pancake. I'm just kidding. Anyway, let's get right into this Avengers Infinity review. I'm very excited to talk about this. So first, let's talk about the negatives, because we need to get those out the way. Sure. So, Alex, we're going to start with you. Oh, what the hell just popped up on my laptop? Oh my god, technical difficulties. Anyway, that's not important. I can take that off. Anyway, Alex, what did you think about this movie? Let's start off with the negatives. So what didn't you like about this movie? If there is anything to hate about it.
I mean, this, I would say my biggest gripe has to be the Thor Rocket Groot section, which sucks because Rocket's one of my favorite characters, but I think that just went on a bit too long. You could have shaved off 10 minutes and the movie would be fine. So that's probably my biggest absolute gripe. And also, it does suck that some characters got used more than others. It's disappointing that Ant-Man and all them didn't make an appearance. I mean, I hope that's addressed in the next part. If they they still don't pop up in part 2, I'll be kind of what the hell?
Yeah.
Because this is such a universe-ending event that house arrest can't even be that good of an excuse the second time around, you know?
Yeah.
So those are my two biggest issues. But really, besides that, I really don't have anything else to complain about.
What about you guys? Let's start with you, David.
No, to be honest, I really don't see any negatives about it, but I would say at one specific part I did want to talk about Infinity War and hear your guys' opinion. Is Star-Lord kind of ruining?
Okay, we're gonna get into that. Okay. We're gonna get into that. That's the one part you didn't like? Go ahead and explain why you didn't like it.
Well, it's not like that I liked it, but it's just that
it brings conversation.
Yeah, I just feel like it brings conversation.
Yeah. That we're gonna have a section. So this is gonna be just the negatives, and then positives, and then theories, and then all that other shit. Well, go ahead. What about you, Danny?
I'd say maybe it was a little too long than what it was. Maybe I think it was just the timing. Because what was it almost 3 hours?
I honestly don't know. Did some people say 2:10? Some people say 2:30. Yeah. Some people say 2:40. Honestly, I'm assuming it's 2 hours and 20-something minutes.
I feel like maybe they could have cut at least some parts in, that wasn't at least interesting enough. I was surprised because I thought I wasn't going to feel the relationship between Vision
and Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But surprisingly, I did. So that's why I'm not that complaining as much as because I wanted that part to kind of cut off a little bit because I feel like theirs was a little too long as well. Trying to forcing the relationship as well.
Well, because Vision has part of the Mind Stone. So they're trying to make the general audience who doesn't know who Vision is, kind of feel for him.
But otherwise, no, I really enjoyed the film.
For me, it was just I didn't like how Hulk was being a bitch throughout the whole movie.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he just no, and it's dude, shut the fuck up. I mean, how are you gonna have
Hulk? He was
just Bruce Banner. Yeah, he was just in the Hulkbuster suit, and it's come on, if you're gonna have Infinity War, have the Hulk. Yeah. I know you're.
It's that time of the month.
Yeah, it's Hulk's time of the month and shit. Okay, Thanos, I'm gonna admit that opening part where he beats the shit out of Hulk. Yes. I was oh my god, he's done for. He's dead. If Hulk can't beat Thanos, how the fuck are they gonna beat this guy?
Yeah.
The Hulk was one of the only parts I didn't like. The second part was what Alex said was how Hawkeye and Ant-Man were in this because they basically had almost everybody but Hawkeye and Ant-Man.
He was playing tag, dude. You know that
Hawkeye's playing tag. Ant-Man is doing what the fuck he's doing in San Francisco right now. But yeah, I was just kind of upset by that. But I have a feeling that Hawkeye will appear, which we'll get into later again.
Or also, because I'm a huge Guardians of the Galaxy fan. Like, I think that was one of my favorite Marvel movies, and you can kind of tell that James Gunn didn't write like their characters.
Apparently, he did write.
He did.
He did.
Really?
Wow. He had a say, and he did write some. He did write all. Apparently, all or most of the dialogue. The one part for sure I can confirm he did write was the part where Drax was. He was like, "I have subtle movements." That was the one part that he can confirm he wrote, but apparently he wrote most of the Guardians dialogue. But I will admit, Star-Lord felt different.
No, that's what I'm saying. Star-Lord and
Gamora.
Yeah.
I think it was mainly because their relationship played a big part in the movie. So I guess we can get into the positives now. I'll go ahead and start. Everything about this goddamn movie, but most of the parts. The part that gave me chills was my favorite fight scene was the Captain America one where he first appears saving Vision and Scarlet Witch. Because that Avengers music, I was like, oh my god, Jesus Christ.
Oh, the soundtrack was really good too. Yeah. I usually never pay attention to the soundtracks when it comes to like Marvel movies.
Yeah, that's what I was also going to bring up. The score in this was memorable. Like my favorite one is I Feel You.
Yeah, that's my favorite one too.
The one from the Wakanda fight where Vision is about to die.
Yeah.
That one got to me. Yeah, there's so much stuff. I guess I can let you guys talk. I honestly can't collect my feelings. Alex, what did you like about this movie?
I mean, obviously it was cool seeing all the characters come together. My fucking favorite joke in the movie is Doctor Strange saying, "What master do you serve?" And Star-Lord being like, "What do you want me to say, Jesus?" That was fucking good. I laughed my ass off. It's really nice seeing all those personalities just mash together, and they don't always mash as best friends. So that's probably like the absolute favorite thing is just seeing how not everybody's going to be buddy. And obviously, cinematography was really well done. Camera work. There's not so much of that shaky cam that you see in Winter Soldier and Civil War. So they definitely scaled that back. Thanos is really fantastic. I'm glad that he got a heavy focus in the movie, and I'm glad he wasn't just some emotionalist monster, which they tried to pitch him as with the whole Soul Stone thing.
Yeah.
So I'm glad it does show that, oh no, this guy actually does care about shit. The purple testicle does care.
What about you, Danny?
I was gonna add on my favorite part of my favorite joke of the movie was when it was an encounter between Star-Lord, Iron Man, and Drax, where he's like, "Where's Gamora?"
Well, who is Gamora?
And then who's Gamora? Why is Gamora? And then also the cinematography was really cool. What did they film it? Was it?
Oh, so they filmed it with IMAX.
Yeah.
You can tell like the difference.
That's the thing I do kind of regret it. I wish I went to see it on IMAX.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And also, what I liked about it was they were really ballsy in this movie. Like in the beginning, we all thought Iron Man and Captain America were pretty much most likely going to die, but yet
we were wrong.
Yeah, we were all wrong. Yeah, and then what else? The score was cool. I really like Thor in this one. I wasn't really a fan of Thor until Ragnarok, but I think this film is what made me really like Thor, and I can see him being a really powerful hero, and character.
What about you, David?
Speaking of Thor, I actually did like the chemistry with Thor and the Guardians of the Galaxy. Mm-hmm. I feel like there was just a lot of funny parts in there. And I just like how it connected where, they find Thor, and then take him inside to the ship. I just thought it was a lot of funny parts in there.
I like the part where he was like, "Goodbye, morons." Like, he didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
So he's like, "All right, morons." I'm like, "What the fuck?" And, I say my favorite parts came from, the chemistry from the Guardians and stuff. Because that's one of the... When the Guardians first interacted, like when that Wakanda fight scene, and it was Rocket and Groot, and then Thor... The whole fucking theater went ballistic. Yeah, because it's basically like you never see that. You think you would never see that in here for Infinity War. You got fucking people from outer space. You got Black Panther crossing over with Thor and stuff. Obviously, and the Rocket, right, and then the Guardians are crossing over with Captain America and stuff. And Groot's like, "I am Groot," and Steve's like, "I am Steve Rogers," and it's something you're like, "Oh my god, this is really." My friend, he was with me. We saw this the second time. He was like, "Oh." He was like, I was always going to cry. And I was like, why? And he goes, I was like, what part? And he goes, the part where Thor showed up. He goes, because holy shit, that was amazing. I go, wow, what? You were going to cry when you saw that? And, but, yeah, the movie was pretty good overall. I'm not going to give my rating until the very... We're going to give our ratings at the very end.
Okay.
So just, yeah. Let's get into Easter eggs. Did you guys see any Easter eggs? The one Easter egg that I can think of is the snap.
Yeah.
And then, what else? The Stormbreaker is an Easter egg. Quote unquote. Even though it's more of a plot device. There was a lot of MCU references. Like for instance, when Pepper Potts was calling Tony Stark on the ship, the music that played behind that scene was the Captain America music, where he crashes the plane into the ice when he's talking to Peggy.
Yeah.
That's an Easter egg that some people caught. I didn't catch it at first, but I catched it the second time. Can't really think of anything else, but there's MCU Easter eggs scattered everywhere. Did you catch anything, Alex?
Loki saying he's not Asgardian because he's a fucking frost giant.
Yeah.
I did pick that up. Because that was something that was addressed way back in Thor 1 and hasn't really been mentioned since.
Yeah.
So, there's that. Damn. I'm really trying to throw back. Damn. It's such a massive movie, that's the problem. With such a massive movie, it's hard to pinpoint down all the tiny things, you know?
Yeah, because, there's one Easter egg, but you have to really watch the show. I think it's called Community. One of the Russo brothers directed that show. You could see a guy who's all blue and wears a mustache. That's an Easter egg for the Community episode. Yeah. Howard the Duck, unfortunately, wasn't in there. Like Alex said, if Howard the Duck wasn't in there, he was going to walk out. And unfortunately, they didn't have Howard the Duck. That's all
Yeah, I'm very upset. I don't know why the Russo brothers would not include the most important character in the entire MCU. But, it's we all make mistakes, I guess. I just can't ever watch this movie again because it was too disappointing.
He quacks in Thanos' ear, and that's the end of Thanos. You guys catch anything?
No, surprisingly, no. I can't really think of
I saw Ant-Man.
What?
No, you can't see him because he's all small.
You little shit. God, I was like, what the fuck? You saw Ant-Man? I was like, where?
No, there's this funny ass video where I forgot Thanos. I think he's putting the.
Oh, and he runs out.
Yeah. It's
called the Weird Trailer or something.
Yeah.
I've seen it before. Those are funny. Well, shit. Let's get into theories.
Sure.
This will be real theories. So I guess let's explain the ending. So the ending, if you please, leave the fucking. What are you doing here? If you're listening to the ending, we haven't spoiled anything, but this is one of the major spoilers. So people who died, we got Loki, Heimdall, Gamora, possibly the Collector. And is that I'm trying?
Oh, before the snap.
Before the snap.
Yeah, I think that was it.
That was it. Which death shocked you the most? To be honest, pre-snap. Which death shocked? Or actually, no, not pre-snap. Which death throughout the entire movie shocked you the most? For me, it was Gamora.
Gamora. I expected she was gonna die somehow, but I didn't think. I thought it would at least be like a place where like maybe she will come back. Hmm. Now I kind of don't have hope because it's pre-snap. And that was a pretty hard fall, too.
Yeah, it's... For this movie to work, I feel like Gamora has to stay dead. She cannot come back.
Really?
If she comes back alive...
She's alive.
You still think she's alive?
Yeah,
if she's still alive...
I don't care.
If she's still alive, I'm going to be quite upset. But I'm hoping to God she isn't. She needs to stay dead for this movie to work in order for Thanos to really feel like a character. Mm. So I'm hoping she stays dead. What about you, Alex? I think it was... You said Gamora, too, when we were talking about this.
Gamora and Black Panther were like my biggest what the fuck deaths. Like even Spider-Man, there's that kind of there's Miles Morales in case he doesn't come back. Yeah. But with Black Panther, I mean, what are you gonna do after that?
Yeah.
Same with Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Although I feel like Doctor Strange has some way of coming back. I cannot see Marvel pulling a fast one and bringing back all of the characters that got dusted. I call it dusted because they literally turned into dust. But it would be such a fucking fake out for them to be like, oh, nope, here's some magic artifact and they're all back. Some of them have got to remain dusted, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, here's my... Okay, see, if someone... They have to stay dead. I can see Spider-Man staying dead and then maybe bring Peter Parker back to the multiverse, do a Spider-Verse movie.
Oh, maybe.
But honestly, I kind of hope they keep some of the bigger players down. Like, maybe don't bring back... Fuck, who can they not... Maybe don't bring back some of the Guardians. some of the Guardians.
I think the only. Oh yeah, never mind. It was Drax.
Maybe Mantis could stay dead.
Yeah.
Because she's not. I mean, she's her comic book version is a lot better. Mantis could stay dead. I think it'll be a really ballsy move to keep Star-Lord dead. I honestly don't see. I don't see them all staying dead. I think they'll all come back because they all have to. Now, people are saying it's going to be a trade. There's this one theory where Captain America says we don't trade lives, and then when Vision saves Captain America when he stabs Corvus Glaive, he says something. I forget what he says to him. Something similar. And it's an irony quote because when he says we don't trade lives, in order to get back the new Avengers, we're gonna have to the old Avengers are gonna have to die.
Yeah.
So I guess part of the theory is that I'm gonna start from the beginning here. During the fight scene with Thanos, when they all have him all down, Doctor Strange is the only one to tell Star-Lord nothing. You notice all the heroes are trying to or saying something to Thanos, like Drax even was like, "Who does this beast have to feel sorry for or more?" And then Doctor Strange is the only one not saying anything. Now, I obviously think Doctor Strange knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Because he didn't say anything. He didn't tell us Tony in the beginning. He's like, oh, if it comes to you or the kid or a time stone, I will not hesitate to let either of you die. And he gives him the time stone.
Yeah.
And then he tells Tony this is the only way. So he knows Tony Stark is part of the plan to get them back. But I do see like the original Avengers all dying, and I'm hoping they all die. To be honest, because
I see.
Infinity War needs to mean something. You can't just have these pre-snap deaths and then not mean. So I think the old Avengers will die in order to get the new Avengers back.
Yeah,
which I'm kind of hoping. What about you, Alex? Do you have any theories?
I mean, it's really hard to figure it out because after Thanos did the snap, the Gauntlet was fucked up. And, I mean, it could be used, although I figured that was the way of the movie's way of saying, oh, no, you can't, the Gauntlet's done. Because it looked really screwed up. Yeah. Like, it was all shredded and stuff. I mean, after Thanos took it off, I don't see him putting it back on. It probably wouldn't even fit him. That's how screwed up it got. But when it comes to, it's really hard to say because I kind of figured Doctor Strange was the key to all this. That reminds me of a quote George Lucas said about Jar Jar is the key to all of this. That's just stupid as hell. But I figured Doctor Strange was going to figure something out. But now that he's gone, I'm not entirely sure where are they going to go? Like, what location or weapon can they really use to? Do they even know where Thanos went? It's really hard to say what's going to happen.
Back to the Infinity Gauntlet. Actually, when he snapped and it was all fucked up, I am assuming that it can be used one more time to undo everything. But the person who snaps it again or does whatever the hell they're going to do with it will die. And in order to hold the Infinity Gauntlet, you need to be the most powerful. Now, a lot of people are going to just say Thor out of the bat. Mm-hmm. I think it might be Captain America who sacrifices himself and redoes everything, and he snaps, and then everyone comes back, but he destroys himself and the Infinity Gauntlet, snapping, and then he's like, Tony, it's the only way. Some shit like that, too. He says like that, similar to what Doctor Strange said. Yeah, I honestly don't know. The one part that confused me was when Thanos snapped his fingers and then he was in this like orange thing. Some people were saying Soul World. Soul World is this thing in the comic books where Adam Warlock went to gain power of the possession of the Infinity Gauntlet. But that part confused me because I was like, why is Gamora still in there? Yeah. Apparently she's in the Soul Stone. Well, I don't know. I mean, I lost train of thought. Anyway, yeah, I honestly don't know how they're going to bring back the heroes. Now, there's set photos. I hope you guys don't mind me telling you guys this if you haven't seen them yet. There's set photos of them going back to the Battle of New York.
Really?
Yeah, and Ant-Man is in the Battle of New York with the old school Avengers. So Captain America has that god-awful Avengers costume. And there's Tony Stark and his thing back. And Loki's also back in the Avengers flashback scene. So I think in order for them to in order for them to stop Thanos, they're going to go back to the Battle of New York somehow and stop Thanos there, and they're gonna have Loki help them out, and maybe Loki doesn't die.
Yeah,
maybe.
Well, now I question how does he even come back to life?
Loki?
Yeah.
Well, this is back in 2012, so they're obviously they're gonna go back in time.
Yeah, I see.
But there's this little there's a little thing on their wrist, so they can control their past bodies and stuff. But I think they're gonna convince Loki like, hey, we're from the future. You can't tell, but you're gonna die. Blah 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 blah. This and that happens with the Reality Stone and this and that. we need you to help us because Thanos is gonna kill you. And then he's gonna be like, fuck you, I don't believe you. And he's like, oh yeah, check this shit out. Like, my hammer broke and some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess next thing is we can talk about, what do you guys think about that end credit scene?
At first, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of sleepy during the end credit scene, so I didn't really get to see who was Nick Fury was calling, and so I didn't know who it was, and then I talked to you, right? Yeah, and then, it was Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
It was hella funny when Nick Fury was like, motherfucker. Because that's another Easter egg, actually. Because that's like
Samuel Jackson catches
that's a Samuel Jackson Easter egg. Because that's like every line he says in every movie.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I mean, I'm pissed because it made me want to see more, I guess.
Yeah. What about you, David?
Well, I would say they left like a pretty good like hanger, like a cliffhanger. Yeah, because I think it was probably, I would say, like one of the best cliffhangers since The Force Awakens. That's like one of my favorite cliffhangers. And then I remember when seeing that, a lot of people who were watching it, they were very excited.
The second time I saw it, people were in the theater like, who the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were like, who the fuck is that? And it's like, y'all don't read comic books, so you're not gonna know.
Yeah, those are probably the people who didn't watch it opening weekends.
Like my dad, he called me and he was like, hey, he goes, what the fuck was that ending? And I go, what ending?
Wonder Woman?
Yeah, he goes, was that Wonder Woman? And I go, no. And he goes, Captain Marvel. He goes, who the fuck's that? And I go, I'll explain to you when I get back home. But what about you, Alex? What do you think about the end credit scene?
I mean, I didn't think much of it because, I can't pretend to be like, oh shit, Captain Marvel. I barely know anything about Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
So, when I saw, I was kind of sad that Nick Fury died. I was kind of hoping that he kind of got screwed over. He didn't get to interact with any other major heroes. Wouldn't it have been awesome for him to meet fucking Groot or some shit? That would have been great.
What the fuck? This fucking tree talks?
Yeah. I am Groot. I know that motherfucker. But yeah, I was really sad to see Nick Fury get dusted because, do they even know? Have you seen the next movie where they're like, oh, call Fury. He's not hanging up. He must be in the shower or something. No, they'll probably figure it out quickly. But, I wasn't jumping up in the air and being like, Captain Marvel. I was just like, yeah, okay. I figured they would reference her in some way. And that was kind of it for me. I was more or less just still trying to figure out the ending. Yeah. So the end credit scene didn't really blow me away. It was just, it was serviceable.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, remember that scene where like the car crashes and starts zooming in? Did you think what were your
predictions at that time?
On the
like who's gonna like show up?
Yeah.
I honestly was just like, I was assuming they were just gonna show like Nick Fury and him disappearing. But then when he paged somebody, I was like, okay. Well, I had a feeling they would have referenced Captain Marvel somehow. So as soon as the end credit scene popped up, I was like, okay, Nick Fury, Maria Hill, what's her name? Maria Hill.
Maria Hill.
Maria Hill. They were like, because they're all in Captain Marvel. So I was like, okay, are they like driving to Captain Marvel, or are we going to see Brie Larson? And then when they start disappearing, I was like, fuck, guess we're not going to see Brie Larson. They're going to see Samuel Jackson disappearing and shit. But as soon as he sent that distress signal, I was like, it's Captain Marvel. And then it took forever to appear, and it was like, da, 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 da. And I was like, oh shit, Captain Marvel. But I guess back to the getting dusted part. Do you guys think this will affect? I don't know if you guys watch the Netflix shows. Do you guys think this will affect the Netflix shows or the TV universes? Because there's Cloak and Dagger. I don't watch that show, by the way. Runaways. There's Daredevil, The Punisher, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Do you guys think this is gonna affect any of the shows? Because keep in mind, if this does come into play, they're gonna have to get rid of some major characters for a year, and TV shows probably don't want their ratings down. Mm-hmm. So do you guys think this is gonna play a big part of the TV shows, or do you guys think they're gonna just?
I think the TV shows are like it's its own world. Like I don't watch any of the the Netflix shows, but like. If I were to see like an example, the DC universe, there's Flash and yet on the Justice League there's a different character playing Flash.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's gonna be the same thing. Like I don't think they're gonna reference it or like anything at all.
Yeah. What about you, Davey?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I would say the same thing. I can't really say much because like I don't watch the shows. Yeah.
What about you, Alex? I think we talked about this before.
If they dust Iron Fist, I'll be a happy camper.
Okay, yes. I don't know if you guys ever watched Iron Fist.
I know. I heard about it because like how bad it was.
Horrible show.
Yeah.
Really?
It was like putting a gun in my head and trying to watch the show. I only finished it because of the Defenders. I'm gonna admit the one actor.
No. I feel like Danny's gonna start dusting and like he tries to get the Iron Fist to come up and he's like screaming like a constipated person as he dusts. Dead.
It's like, what the fuck just happened? The only part of Iron Fist I like was the guy. I forget what his name was. It was one of the fathers or whatever. He played the main villain. I thought he could have been a good Norman Osborn. Every time I saw him on screen, I was like, that could be Norman Osborn. That could be the Green Goblin. I don't think it's gonna affect the TV shows because again, ratings and shit. Me and Alex talked about this earlier. They're kind of in the Marvel universe, but in their own universe. So like, there's the Marvel universe, but then there's the Netflix universe surrounded by this impenetrable.
Yeah, because they do some crossovers, right? And like
never. They have never done a cross. I think Samuel Jackson is the only one to go on Agents of Shield, but no one else crossed over. The Defenders have crossed over with each other, but they've never crossed over with the main Avengers. What about you, Al? Wait, yeah, he did say Iron Fist. I'm hoping that this is a good Iron Fist. I wouldn't mind Iron Fist going away. Apparently, Daredevil Season 3 is going to play a major role for Infinity War. Yeah. They asked Charlie Cox, do you ever see yourself crossing over with the big screen? He was like, I can't answer that because it plays into Season 3. So there could be something about that with Daredevil Season 3. Personally, I don't see it. I mean, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., maybe like one person, maybe like the bad guy disappears at the very end of the season. And they're like, what the fuck just happened? Like, oh, the Battle of New York or the Battle of Earth, whatever instead. Yeah,
I figured it out. The Inhumans got dusted. That's why they're not getting a season 2.
Oh my god, yeah. Inhumans. Have you guys heard of the Inhumans?
Which one?
The TV show, Inhumans.
No.
Horrible show. Don't ever watch it. I've never seen it, but I heard it's very horrible. I was this close to paying $20 to see the 2 episodes in IMAX, and I was like, it's not worth it. Hopefully the Inhumans get dusted, because obviously that can be the only reason why they don't get a second season. Back to
they just stay dead. Like even after they bring back the other heroes, they're just like, "Hey, there's this family in this alternate universe," and they're just like, "Don't save them, leave them there."
Like there's these like bulldog. Okay, take out the bulldog, but just keep the rest there. don't bring the other ones back. The one who speaks is don't bring it back. Anyway, back to Infinity War. I honestly don't know what to talk about this. What do you guys think? Like, how do you think the Avengers will play? The OG Avengers will play a role in Avengers 4? Because obviously they're still alive, and they just saw everyone they fucking love die. Bucky died, and Falcon died. I'm gonna admit that was smart, because people were thinking Captain America's gonna die, and either Falcon or Bucky. God, Jesus Christ! I just made up a shit name. Falcon and Bucky were supposed to be Captain America, and now they're gone. So obviously we don't freaking know who's going to be Captain America at this point. But
maybe there is no Captain America. Maybe this is the. I mean, I saw Civil War as the metaphorical, if you will, death of Captain America.
Yeah, the shield drop.
So maybe there's not going to be a successor. Maybe just that's it.
That's it for fucking Captain America. Do you think the OG Avengers will get back together in Avengers 4? Because obviously we didn't see like Steve Rogers and Tony Stark cross. And also Tony Stark is stuck on Titan. Tony Stark
with Nebula.
Yeah, with Nebula. They're both stuck on Titan because they didn't come back during the Peter Parker died in his hands, quote unquote. One theory, yeah. The reason Spider-Man's death took so long was because his spider sense was telling him, "Hey, you're gonna die." So it accelerated his healing process, and obviously it wasn't enough for him to dissolve, because the others disappeared with no pain, and they disappeared
quickly.
Yeah, and Peter Parker was the only one that took forever to dissolve, and apparently that whole scene was improvised, which was pretty damn good.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
Yeah, Tom Holland confirmed it was that whole Tony Stark and Tony Stark and Spider-Man scene that was improvised.
What the fuck? I'm about to look this shit up. No way. That was way too brilliant to be improvised on the spot.
For real, go ahead, look it up. I was shocked by it because I was like, how did he know? Did Tom Holland, did he know he was going to die? Or the Russos just like, hey, we're going to fake this one scene for marketing. Do whatever, pretend you're dying. But the whole scene was improvised.
Yeah, I thought that scene was really emotional. I mean, I think that was the part where I started kind of tearing up. Cause like,
no,
yeah,
I was kidding.
no, but like also like you kind of see like their relationship and like how it changed and how it's kind of maturing and like seeing Tony Stark is sort of like a father figure.
Yeah, the Uncle Ben kind of figure to Peter Parker.
Yeah.
So Aunt May is gonna fucking be devastated by this because she just lost Uncle Ben and now she's gonna lose to Peter Parker. Or did you find it, Alex?
No, but I did find something else pretty funny. Tom Holland spoiled the ending of Infinity War a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark Ruffalo did too.
Yeah, there's a story.
Yeah. It's just like, we killed everybody.
That was weird because I thought that was a joke.
Everybody thought it was a joke.
Because he was like, "Oh, wait till you see this one. Everybody dies." He's like, "Dude." He's like, "Oh, not everybody. Almost everybody." Oh shit! Barry's gonna get mad at me, and it was like, "You're joking, bitch!" And then he wasn't joking. But Tom Holland, the story about Tom Holland is, I guess he went to a theater and he was like, "I'm alive," and then Kevin Feige was like, "You fucking whore." He's like, "Yes, very alive, very alive." And then Benedict Cumberbatch also came in. And he's like, "I'm still alive also." And then they're like, "Tom, don't spoil anything." And then Tom was like, "Wait, have you guys seen the movie, or have you just seen it already?" And then they're like, "No, we haven't seen it yet." And he goes, he's like, "Oh no!" So he spoiled the movie for an entire audience that had not seen it yet. But. Yeah, that entire scene was improvised, so that was brilliant. I don't know if anything else was improvised, but I did see a scene with the Russo brothers. They were breaking down the Thor scene, and they were like meshing in comedy. There's stuff they learned from the comedy and TV business with that, so it was kind of cool to see how they directed.
It was
stuff.
cool that Chris
Hemsworth.
Yeah, Hemsworth. He kind of made his own version of Thor. Like I remember he was saying like he wanted to make an own version, and it turned out like really cool. Like now I actually really like Thor.
Yeah. I guess we can start off with that. Or another thing we can do is, who are you guys' favorite characters in the movie? If you had to pick 3 characters, who are your favorite characters in the movie?
You want to go first?
I mean, I would go with Rocket, my boy. Well, obviously, if I had to choose, characters not in the movie, Howard the Duck. In the movie Rocket, I would say probably Doctor Strange, and I would say probably Thanos, because those are my 3 favorite characters like in that movie.
Yeah,
I think they handled everything the best.
I think for me, heroes wise, so for sure, Thor. Captain America and Ant-Man. No, I'm just kidding. No, no, and I'd say Rocket too. I think he kicked ass.
What about you?
I would say one person I would have in my list is Star-Lord. I think because like I started to see more about him, because like in this movie, I mean, he goes through a lot of shit, like almost killing Gamora, and the fact that knowing that Thanos is the one that kills him, that kills her, and he's at a position where should he kick his ass or just, and I feel like if it had to be one person that would have to do that, I would say it would be him.
Star-Lord?
Yeah, Star-Lord, because out of all the people, he is pretty much human, and he's not really like a heroic figure than everyone else from that,
because he's more of an anti-hero. My favorite. What about your other 2 favorite characters?
Other 2, definitely Rocket and Thor. Yeah.
My favorites were Doctor Strange for a fact. Doctor Strange.
I gotta say Doctor Strange as well.
A lot of people did not like the first Doctor, or a lot of people skipped Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah, like honestly, I didn't watch Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Fucking Christ, people slept on him. I love Doctor Strange.
It looks dope though. Yeah.
He was my first Marvel character that was consider like a C-lister, like not really a household name, that I learned about through Marvel Ultimate Alliance. And when I learned about him there, I started researching him more. So he was one of the first characters before, if you know me well, Batman. Before I started reading like more Batman comic books. So Doctor Strange holds that special. I remember when the movie got announced, I was like, what'd be dope? A Doctor Strange movie. The next day, Doctor Strange. And I was like, no fucking way. If Benedict Cumberbatch gets casted in, I'll be happy. What do you know? They cast Benedict Cumberbatch. And I was like, oh my god, this is my dream movie. So obviously I went to that movie with a lot of hype and a lot of like high hopes, and the ending kind of disappointed me.
Yeah.
But that movie's great. I'm not gonna spoil the movie since you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But it's really great. I love the visual
Yeah,
effects.
how I remember. I mean, how I first encountered Doctor Strange was the comic, Deadpool comic, Dead President.
Dead President.
Yeah, and I thought Doctor Strange was a pretty dope character. So then that's why when the movie came out, I was like, damn, I should have watched it.
But Doctor Strange is definitely on my top list. I loved how he expanded his power. His powers in Infinity War are like nothing.
Yeah.
In this Doctor Strange movie. So definitely Doctor Strange is my first one. The second one would be Captain America, but he's obviously not in that movie a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he was still one of my favorites to be on the list. My third one is really hard, just because Doctor Strange and Tony Stark, or Doctor Strange and Captain America. The third one I would just be biased and just say Tony Stark because obviously it's Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tony Stark, but then I knew I was gonna be biased.
The part that really got to me was when he got stabbed. I was convinced that he was gonna die.
Yeah.
I did not think he was gonna make it out alive. Does that shock you, Alex, when he got stabbed?
Yeah, I thought he was fucking dead for sure. I was like, oh fuck. And ironically, he's like the only like A-lister to survive, which is pretty ironic.
Yeah.
On Titan, I mean.
I mean, that part shocked the whole theater.
Yeah,
the whole theater went silent. Yeah, like
the theater I went, everybody was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I was the first one to go, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "Oh my god!" And then everyone was so silent. And then my friend, she told me when she went to go see before she saw the movie, she's like, "Is he gonna die?" And I was like, "I'm not gonna tell you. You go see the movie." And then she was like, "I fucking hate you." I was like, "Why?" I goes, "I thought Tony Stark was gonna die for like 2 seconds, 2 seconds," and then, but. That part shocked the hell out of me. The part that freaked the most people out was when Red Skull showed up.
That actually freaked me out too.
I got spoiled for it. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh really?
I got spoiled for it, and I was like, "There's no way." I was like, "There's no way. That's fucking stupid. Why would he show up on a planet?" And then when there was a cloak figure, I was like, "Cloak from Cloak and Dagger."
Yeah.
And then it was like Red Skull's like, "Oh my god, it's Red Skull." That part shocked the hell out of me. Alex said you were one of the people who thought he stayed dead, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought he stayed dead, although I have a little story behind this. So, when I was seeing the movie in theaters, and then Red Skull popped up, I was like, oh shit, and this fucking woman sitting behind me yelled out loud, so loud, oh my god, it's Redface! I for like 5 seconds, and I was just like, okay. Alright, but yeah, no, that scared the hell out of me. Like, whoa, shit, that's cool, and they even got, Ross Marquardt, and he's good at impressions. So I was convinced it was Hugo Weaving for a couple minutes there.
Yeah.
So that was a nice way to finally tie up that loose end. So yeah. Besides the whole red face thing, I enjoyed his appearance.
The part that I have a story for mine too, but this isn't for Red Skull. When Vision first appeared, and he was as Paul Bettany. Some girl or some woman, she was speaking Spanish, so I honestly understand her. She was like, "Who's that guy?" She goes, "I know that girl, but that guy, who's that?" And I was like, "Shut the fuck up! You'll know in 2 fucking minutes. Shut the fuck up!" And then when my friend, we were there. If you hate people who talk during movies, you're gonna love my friend. What happened? So during the part where Gamora was getting dragged and shit, and Thanos was crying, all the theater was like, "What the fuck?" And these people kept talking behind us for the whole movie.
Yeah.
There's like this Mexican family. The whole movie they kept talking, and in Spanish and English, and it was getting really annoying. There's these 2 teenage girls. Maybe one was 13, the other one was maybe 17, 18. And then there's this one kid who was like 15, 14 maybe. I don't know how old he was, but he's probably 15. He's probably 15. They're talking about the whole movie. They're literally talking. They're one of those families that talk like they're explaining the movie as it's happening. So it's like, oh my god, he just got the Soul Stone. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's what happened.
But
oh yeah, go ahead.
There was this part, my bad. There's this part where the Gamora, when her face changed, and when she goes, when he goes, "Oh, those tears aren't for you," and she's like, "What?" And Gamora's like, "What?" And then the girl's like, "Oh, her face changed. Oh, she knows she's gonna die, huh?" And my friend was like, "Yeah, her fucking face changed. Shut the fuck up!" And the girl shut the fuck up. I was like, "What?"
Shit,
I was like, "Why did you do that?" I was like, "Dude, that's a Mexican family. You don't fuck with Mexicans." And then they shut the fuck up through the whole movie. And I was like, "I'm very glad you said that, because they honestly, if they would have kept talking, I would have said something."
They were pretty much commentary. Like
yeah. And I hated that. I was like, "Shut the fuck up. You'll find out in 2 seconds if she's dead or not. Shut the fuck up." Like, god damn it, dude, I hate when people talk during the movies and shit, especially this one. But thankfully, he shut them up, and when he said that, people started clapping.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he was like, "Stop!" He's like, "Stop clapping!" He's like, "I'm trying to listen to the movie." But he was pretty irritated. But yeah, That part really shocks me. The Red Skull part. Most people thought he was dead.
Remind me how he died.
And Captain America, the first Avenger, he picks up the Tesseract and it disintegrates him, quote unquote. But I guess it.
Oh, okay. Now I remember.
It teleported him to fucking the planet.
Yeah.
Now I actually really enjoyed that. No one knew where the hell a Soul Stone was gonna come up.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people were like, "Oh, it's in Heimdall," because they obviously had the orange eyes. But I was very happy that they kept that a secret, and how they kept it a secret that Thanos never got, or that Thanos got the Infinity Gems. Because I was convinced he wasn't gonna get all Infinity Gems, or Soul Stones. I was like, he's only gonna get the Power Stone, the Mind Stone, and the Space Stone, and obviously he got all 6 of them. I think there's all 6, right? Yeah, 6 of them. Yeah. But the Soul Stone played a huge part in this movie, so that's one of the parts that I like. That's all I could really say about that part. I'm trying to think of anything else. Didn't you want to talk about Peter Dinklage? I mean, not Peter. What the fuck did I call him Peter? Alex.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh, yeah, I'm a huge fan of Peter Dinklage's work. Game of Thrones is one of my favorite TV shows.
Yeah.
And he was really good in X-Men Days of Future Past. I loved him there.
Yeah.
I thought it was really funny how he played a fucking giant.
A giant midget. Yeah, that was hella funny.
That made me laugh my ass off. That was really clever casting, and he did a solid job as a role. I wonder if he got dusted. They never addressed that.
I think
they could go to him in the next movie for another weapon, maybe just gear up all the Avengers with anti-Thanos weapons like Stormbreaker. So that's a possibility.
I think he's fine, mainly because when Thanos wiped out half the universe, he was wiping out half of every species, is what I'm assuming, because that seemed like his goal, to wipe out half of every species. Because obviously he he wiped out Gamora's race half, and he did it fairly, where he took with quotation marks, he put the rich, poor, and everybody into one spot, like not perfectly balanced as he puts it. But he killed all the dwarves. So I'm assuming Peter Dinklage is still alive just because he's the one left, and he only has those hands. So I'm assuming he doesn't get dusted. But I could see him going back to him. Like maybe Thor's like, oh, I went to this guy, back in wherever the hell they went to. He can craft us all weapons. So maybe Captain America gets a new shield, Tony Stark gets a new upgrade to his armor, Black Widow maybe gets a gun or something. I don't fucking know with Black Widow anymore.
Black Widow gets an anti-Thanos gun. Oh my God, I'll walk out the theater if that happens.
What else? I mean, it's possible because for them to go back, just because Thor can now summon the Bifrost. The Bifrost is what teleports them back to Earth and Asgard and stuff. That hammer can summon the Bifrost. That's a cool new power that Thor has now. Anti-Thanos gun. I just kept thinking about that. She's like, "Hey, die!"
Anti-Thanos bullets. Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, what the fuck is that? Kryptonite, bitch! Wrong universe." But yeah, what else can we talk about here? Because there's so much to talk about in this movie.
You know what I find weird?
What?
Okay. The message of Thor Ragnarok is, oh, well, Thor doesn't need the hammer. He has the power within. And then Avengers Infinity War completely goes back on that saying, oh, no, he needs a weapon if he's going to do anything against Thanos. I thought that was, funny. I mean, I know what they were going for. Thanos can only be beaten with, a very specific thing. But I still thought that was, kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean, I do like the Stormbreaker and all, but I was really hoping to see more of the Thunder powers in the movie and stuff, simply because not Thanos. Thor is really the strongest Avenger in this movie. He penetrated Thanos. That sounds horribly wrong if you want to think sexually about it. He should have went for the head. Even more dirty talk here. But he I don't want to say penetrate. He stabbed Thanos with the axe, and he goes, "You should have went for the head, like you kinky bastard."
You should have went for the anus.
He's like, "Show it up my ass." He goes, "What?" But Thor was a really strong Avenger. I think he'll have a major part defeating Thanos. I'm very not optimistic, but I'm pretty sure Thor will possibly die in the next movie. He'll probably play a very big role. Thor's character in this movie, the Russo brothers know how to handle Thor. I mean, I like Thor, but now I really like Thor. And I liked him before Thor Ragnarok. When I started really liking his character was Age of Ultron. I thought his character was really getting interesting, and then when they finally did Ragnarok, I was like, oh, okay, he's a pretty good character. This is the only good Thor movie out there. Because Thor: The Dark World put me to sleep. Interesting fact, by the way, when I was rewatching all the MCU movies, all 3 movies put me to sleep but the Thor Ragnarok movie. So Iron Man 3, I fell asleep through it. Mm-hmm. Captain America: Civil War, I fell asleep through it, even though it was a pretty good movie. Thor Ragnarok, I took a nap for like 10 minutes and I woke back up and I replayed it. So yeah, I guess trilogies have this effect on me where I sleep through the third one. Okay. Thankfully that didn't happen for Avengers Infinity War.
Yeah. I mean, it did happen to me in the end.
He fell asleep during the credits. What? Wonder Woman? Are we watching Justice League now? But yeah, I mean, Infinity War was amazing, honestly. I don't put it... People were putting it next to The Dark Knight. I feel like the only reason you would put it next to there is because there's so many characters, you're just nerding out. Because you've never seen so many characters together in live action like that before. This is... If there is one team who could really do a DC and Marvel crossover, I say it'd be the Russo brothers, simply because they know what they were doing. Yeah. But you would have to make this movie about 3 to 4 hours. Yeah. Or split it up into 2 parts, even. Because there's no way you could have DC and Marvel... and have that many characters and then not, show them all and have the same amount of screen time.
I think, what also I liked about the Russo brothers, like, they kind of manage their timing.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Because it's not, like, rushed or anything. It's literally just from boom, 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 and stuff, It's, they show one scene, then they go to another scene, like, oh, man, I really want to see this. Yeah. Someone that told me that it was really clunky in the beginning, I didn't feel clunkiness. Yeah, I felt like it was really, like, well-paced. My favorite parts... were with Doctor Strange and Tony Stark. And then the Spider-Man, he was like, have you ever seen that old movie Alien? Yeah. That was pretty cool pop culture reference, quote unquote. The part that was funny for me was who's Gamora, why is Gamora and stuff. Now, the one thing that was tripping me out was when Star-Lord had Spider-Man to his head. Spider-Man has Spidey senses. He could have easily got knocked out. So that kind of threw me off a bit because he kind of like easily got, a hold of him. But Spider-Man can easily have broken out of that, even if you want to use the argument that Star-Lord is half celestial, or the frick you want to call it. Even though I think he lost all his powers when he killed his dad. I guess another part. What was your guys' favorite part of the movie? Like, what was like if you had to choose one part? What was your favorite part of the movie?
I think just the part where it just got really intense, where Star-Lord had to choose, either to kill Gamora at that point. That part was especially intense for me because, like, I think isn't it like that part where, because like Thanos and the Guardians of the Galaxy where they first meet. Yeah. So I think that part really got to me.
What were you saying? Like you're saying, like Star-Lord messed up something?
Oh no, yeah. We were talking because when they were trying to remove the
gauntlet, Star-Lord messed up. Why do you think that? What did you want us to add, or what do you want?
I was gonna say, like, what do you guys think of
Star-Lord messing that up?
Yeah,
I think it was on purpose. I personally think if Star-Lord did not snap, everyone would have been dead. Captain America, Iron Man, Doctor Strange. So the people who are blaming Star-Lord out there, I mean, you have to understand, he lost his mom. He just found out he lost his mom because his dad put a tumor in it. He killed his own dad, and now he lost the love of his own life. Yeah. So obviously he's going through a bit of an emotional phase right now, so obviously don't blame Star-Lord.
That was kind of the reason why I said, like, if it had to be anyone...
It had to be Star-Lord.
It had to be Star-Lord.
But I think it was pretty smart of Doctor Strange to let Star-Lord snap. I think I'm going to go down until Avengers 4, assuming that Doctor Strange let Peter Quill snap. What about you, Danny? What did you think about that?
Wait, which part exactly?
The part where Star-Lord snaps.
I mean, honestly, it's the same thing. Like if it had to be anyone, it had to be Star-Lord. And also, like, I don't really honestly blame him because, like, when that scene was happening, I was kind of like thinking like all the stuff he's kind of been through, sort of, and I was like, damn, I guess for me, like, my favorite part of the film was probably like when the fight just started in Wakanda.
Yeah.
I thought that was just an intense scene, and then like that, because that's when like kind of like shit happens. Like not only that's happening, but also the battle with Thanos and Iron Man and everyone right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess just like when because I thought that's like the climax part. So like when the climax happened, that's like the most important thing.
What about you, Alex? How did you feel about that part, about the Star-Lord part?
I mean, I understood it, and when you find out the fucking, love of your life was murdered, I mean, it's kind of hard for you just to be like, oh, no, keep cool, everything's fine, I mean, I'd fucking lose shit too, so, I wasn't, I feel like people came across a bit harsh when they were like, oh, well, Star-Lord's such an idiot, It's like, yeah, come on, unless you're a sociopath, you'd probably do the same thing.
Yeah. What about, I guess, yeah, again, what was your favorite part was Wakanda, right?
Yeah.
And your favorite part was it the Star-Lord part?
Well, it was like the interaction with the Thanos and
Star-Lord?
Yeah.
Okay, back to that part, too. What was with Thanos' obsession with bubbles? This dude, like, has a head or something. Like, he probably wants people to, like, stick bubbles up his ass. And, like, I don't fucking know. Wait.
Bubble buddy.
He has, like, a small... Because he's like, do it, kill her. And he goes... And he's like, haha, I like you. And he runs away. He turns something else into bubbles, right? Doesn't he turn something else into... And then he turns something into bats. And that's when he goes emo and shit. And then Doctor Strange turns into butterflies. I remember, like, this girl behind me when I was watching Opening Night. She's like, oh my god, so beautiful. I was like, are you kidding me? Someone's gonna die right now. What do you mean this is beautiful? My favorite part, honestly, it's between that Wakanda fight and when Thor shows up. And the part where Captain America, Black Widow, and Falcon saved the Vision. Because that part was one of my favorite parts.
Because that was where we were like 30 minutes in.
Yeah. And they already showed us like, oh my god. I was like, this is fucking beautiful. This is amazing. What about you, Alex? What was your favorite part?
My favorite part is when Thanos, quote unquote, adopts Gamora and he's teaching her his kind of, philosophy about her holding the knife and being like, oh no, look at it. And then, like, you see her people get slaughtered behind her. I think that's the best part for me.
That part really fucked me up mentally. I was like, dude, he's just like, he
turns her so she doesn't see that.
No, look, perfectly balanced. And it's like, oh my god, you creepy pedophile. You're adopting some kid you don't know. Someone pointed it out to me. The knife got bigger right after the flashback. Like, it's small, right, when she's holding it on her middle finger. Yeah. But then she has it in her fucking hand. I don't know. That's just a weird part for me. I guess. I don't know, man.
Also, like, I thought what was hella disturbing was Gamora's sister getting tortured.
Yeah, that part.
And then, like, she's looking at her getting tortured. I was like, oh no.
Yeah. The part that disturbed me the most was, I think it was that part. Because obviously Nebula, she's screaming to him. She's like, I'll tell you where the Soul Stone is. I thought it was smart where she was trying to lie to him. And then she has the memory shit. I was like, oh, I didn't think about that. The part that really got to me, that made me like cry or almost cry, like really felt, was the Spider-Man part.
Yeah, definitely.
That part was
or even I think it started for me. It was Groot disappearing and then Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, I got chills when Groot.
Well, see, I didn't cry. I was just like shocked at what was going on, but I wasn't like completely like just dumbfounded.
I think I was more. It was kind of weird because I started becoming. It was like more a shocking thing, and then it just ended like, wow, what the fuck, and then that's when I was like kind of like, so it was getting sad.
What about you, Alex? Alex, I think the internet's being weird. What was your favorite part, or what was the part that made you like almost not tear up? But I guess what was the part that was more emotional for you?
I mean, I would more or less just say like, I think the part that got me the most emotional is just Thanos walking out of his cabin and sitting there on some peaceful planet smiling, because like, I am a huge fan of the very rare movie trope where the antagonist wins. Mm-hmm. And just that part kind of got to me. It's like, oh my god, yeah, this fucker won. He actually won. And is doing what he said. He's going to relax and just drink a fucking Coke while he watches TV. catch the next hockey game. And I think that part got to me the most, is that, there's no even mini victory for the Avengers. That they've completely lost. So that part kind of got to me, like, it was a combination of happiness and sadness. It was happiness from, like, the film fan perspective, but then from the character fan perspective, it's sadness,
Yeah. So I guess one other question we can bring up is, what do you guys... I mean, obviously we don't fucking know, but if you had to speculate or if you had to do it your way, how would you want Avengers 4 to go down? I guess we can start with you again, Alex.
Wait, what'd you say?
How would you want Avengers 4 to go down? Or if you had to speculate how it would go down?
I mean, I personally would keep all the characters dead because I'm very morbid like that.
I
like
yes,
consequences to remain in my fictional stories.
Yeah.
So I would keep all the characters dead. But besides that, I have no idea. Like, I really can't. I mean, I could come up with some weird fan fiction about, they go to the ruins of Asgard, even though I think it blew up, or they go to some ancient area and get an old weapon to reverse time or something. But, like, I trust the directors, so besides having most of the deaths remain, I do trust the directors to tell the right story.
What about you, Davey?
I think one thing I would like to see in Avengers 4 is definitely Gamora's sister having a more important role in it, because she's more as a minor role in the Infinity War. But besides from that, I think definitely just the old Avengers teaming up. Definitely.
What about you?
How direct?
How would you either how would you speculate it would probably go down? How would you want it to go down?
I mean, for me, I kind of think the same way. I would like to kind of have a depressing ending, sort of. That's why I really like Infinity War, because there's something unexpected of a Marvel movie. So yeah, I would say if ending, I would say the OG Avengers dying, and because not only that, it kind of opens up a lot of new stories and new film ideas to happen. I guess
for me, I would, like I said earlier, keep the deaths real. Whoever died during pre-start, maybe bring a little bit back with him, be like, oh, didn't we fix this? And some people aren't back, oh shit, maybe they're actually dead and shit. Keep Spider-Man dead, keep T'Challa dead. I say if there was anyone I would really want to bring back, would bring back the Guardians and finish them off in Guardians 3.
Because I want to see a volume 3.
Yeah, there is a volume 3.
I know, but with
the original Guardians, but I would keep Gamora dead. The part that I would do was...
I was going to say, leave Gamora dead. That'd be way too fucked up. Just poof, she's back, we're good now.
Yeah, keep her dead, because that's one of the things that really cements the movie for being good. How I would do it is, if they're going back to the Battle of New York, have the original Avengers sacrifice themselves for the old Avengers. I honestly don't know how they would do it, but if I was to really have it go down, maybe have Captain America have the Infinity Gauntlet in his hand. Maybe he can't control the power or something like that. So obviously, the original Avengers have to help him and stuff. Some people say they want a processor, or not a processor, or like a mentor for the new Avengers. I say Thor. If you really want to keep Thor, maybe Thor and Hulk would be a pretty cool. So have Captain America and Iron Man die.
Yeah.
And then have maybe Hulk and Thor be the mentors of the new Avengers and kind of lead them on. Maybe have Thor in California and have the West Coast Avengers, and then have the original Avengers. Or actually, Thor could be the original Avengers, and then Hulk could be the West Coast Avengers, and that'll be Ant-Man and not Ant-Man, not Spider-Man, Ant-Man and Guardians maybe. And then the West Coast, or not the West Coast, the original have Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, obviously, because he has a Sanctum Sanctorum over there.
Right.
But I would just keep it like that, but have some of the original Avengers dead, and then, because you're going to have Hawkeye, Ant-Man, and Captain Marvel. Oh, that's one thing we could ask. One more question is, how do you think Captain Marvel is going to play a role in the Avengers 4? Now, obviously, we don't know shit about her yet, but obviously she's supposed to replace Adam Warlock. But how do you think she's going to play a role in the movie?
Well, I know. All right, so I know she takes place in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it has to do something with maybe the time stone or something.
Yeah.
Something has to do going back in time, where that's where you were stating Loki.
Yeah.
Loki was coming. So maybe she will help the Avengers in the past, the past time, and then so they can reflect on how it will look in the future, I guess. I don't know.
What about you?
And this is the thing is I really don't know
much about Captain Marvel.
Much about her at all. But I guess I would go with the same thing with the time stone. Yeah, pretty much.
What about you, Alex?
I mean, if I'd have to guess, I would probably. I mean, I have a little theory here. She's probably going to jump around and cause shit to blow up. That's all I know so far.
For me, I think she's gonna play a big role in the cosmic thing. So maybe this is a big if. Maybe she gets the cosmic entities together. She's like, hey, I've been in outer space. I've met these cosmic entities. I know like how to defeat them. So maybe she gets like not Galactus and Silver Surfer. I doubt any of the Fox characters are coming up, but maybe like the cosmic entity, like what's his face? Eternity shows up. Maybe Nova shows up. Not Nova. Some just cosmic entities. I would be very surprised if they can get Galactus in there. Thank you. If they can get Galactus in there. Silver Surfer, I don't see him coming in to play. But I feel like she's going to be helping rounding up what's the rest of the world. Or what else is like done, whatever else is like there. So I think she's going to help like try to gather everybody up just so she can fight off, whoever she wants to fight off and stuff. Or fight off whoever could who could ever help to fight Thanos and stuff. I don't know how Thanos will come back into play.
Yeah.
Because obviously he's done what he's doing. So unless like Captain Marvel tracks him down, they find him and they're like, oh shit, like I'm fucked. But yeah, I mean that's really all I have about it. So I guess that the last question is, if you guys had to rate the movie, 10 out of 10 or whatever the heck you want to rate it, A plus or whatever, what would you guys rate it? Let's start with you. Start with you, David.
Well, for me, I think it's the best the best Avenger movie they make.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really don't have any any negative things to say about it, so I think definitely I would give it A plus.
A plus?
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm gonna do number wise, so I'd say maybe a 8.5 or pretty much a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10?
Yeah.
What about you, Alex?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of aspects you have to consider, but at the end of the day, I probably have to say a 0 out of 10. But in all seriousness, I would give it an 8. I mean, it's an enjoyable movie, although I wouldn't call it like a cinematic masterpiece or anything like that. You know what I mean? But it's definitely enjoyable. It's definitely a good movie, although I don't see it as like brilliance in the making. That's how I see it.
You see, for me, I thought about it long and hard after seeing it a couple times, or second time. I'm going to go see it a third time this weekend, by the way. Right. I thought long and hard. There's a lot of it I liked, but I realized most of the part I liked it was because all these characters are coming. But that doesn't make for a good story. What makes a good story is a good story, not just characters coming together. I really liked some moments. I thought they had memorable moments. They didn't have I feel like they didn't have a memorable shot in it, similar to like the Avengers movie where they had all the Avengers around together. But for me, I didn't like there's some stuff I didn't like about it. The Scarlet Witch relationship with Vision, I thought that was weird how she was like, I'm not gonna hurt you, but okay, since Thanos is here, I'll fucking kill you. I thought that was kind of stupid.
All that for nothing.
Yeah. But there was real consequence in this film. There was actual stakes, unlike most Marvel movies, and the Russo brothers do an amazing job. My favorite Marvel movie is The Winter Soldier, but this Avengers movie is definitely something that will go down in history, but not as a cinematic masterpiece, but it'll definitely go down in history. So I would give it an 8 out of 10. I would have gone a 7, but honestly, if I'm doing a 7, I'm just nitpicking. So 8 out of 10.
Me, I just avoided the nitpick, so that's what I just said. Yeah, like 8.5.
But for me, for sure, an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's mainly about it that I have for Avengers Infinity War. You guys have any final thoughts? Anyone can start, and the first person who fucking breathes is talking.
Do you guys think Disney is considered as Thanos? Because how many companies they're owning?
Fuck Disney, man. They fucking bought X-Men, now they want to buy DC. Fuck that. I'm just kidding, they didn't want to buy DC. No.
They bought what? Fox?
They bought Fox, Pixar, everybody. They're buying Star everybody Wars, out. They're just like, fuck it, if we can't beat them, we're gonna fucking buy them. Any final thoughts on Infinity War?
On Infinity War?
Well, I got nothing really. I've said my piece.
Well, I guess that's it. That's you guys got your piece, or you guys are done.
I'd say watch it.
Just go watch it, man. Yeah. What were you doing here if you already get spoiled or shit? I guess that's it then for today. This was a pretty long one. I don't know if we'll be back next week because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna take a hiatus because Alex, you're graduating pretty soon, right?
My graduation is June 7th.
June 7th? Okay. We're gonna take a hiatus, not pretty soon, not next week. Next week, we'll be here probably next week, because there's some stuff I want to talk about that we didn't get to discuss this week. But yeah, so that's why we've been kind of on and off here with the podcast, but for sure, we're gonna be back probably, hopefully next week, if I can find a day to record. Anyway, I want to thank you two for joining. It was fun. Avengers Infinity War, holy shit. We talked about all of it. I'm out of breath and I'm hungry. And I can't eat till 5 because I got class in like 30 minutes. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us. You can find me on Twitter, Snapchat, all those links down in the description below. Alex, where can they find you?
You can pop me on Twitter.
What about you?
Instagram, it's I'm Daniel Gonzalez.
What a weird name.
Yeah.
You better not have the same name.
Mine is Almighty __ Capone.
Oh, so you're the creative one. I'm just kidding. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, whatever the hell. You can also subscribe here. There'll be more videos pretty soon. So far, it'll be just the podcast. I'm still processing the Infinity War deaths, because holy shit, that was a lot to process. And, I think next week we might do something Star Wars, because Solo's coming out pretty soon. Or Deadpool. Yeah, I don't know yet. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us. My name is Nicholas Light. Go ahead and say your goodbyes, Alex.
This was an enjoyable Infinity podcast. I had a great time. Go see Infinity War. Although if you're still listening, you've heard a lot of fucking spoilers. Still rooting for you, but go still go see it. But that's all I got.
Yeah, go watch Infinity War. Yeah. I thought we said our goodbyes.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we'll see you guys hopefully next week. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, guys. My name is Nicholas Light, here with all my co-hosts and special guests. And we will see you guys hopefully next week.
We'll see you if we don't get dusted.
There's also there's a website. Did Thanos kill me? And you can check if you got dusted or not.
Oh really?
I got dusted. I was
Send me
dead.
the link. I really got to check that shit out.
I'll send you the link right now on Snapchat, as a matter of fact. But anyway, yeah, thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe.
Or
guys.
also, yeah, if you find any Easter eggs, comment down below.
For sure, because obviously we missed the
Yeah,
fuck time. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Holy shit, this is a long one. Yeah, remember to rate, comment, subscribe, guys. My name is Nicholas Light, here with my co-host, and we'll see you guys in the next podcast. Peace. That was weird. Okay, goodbye. Stop recording. There you go.